What's up guys, it's Gootecks. Today I'm going to be showing you a couple of different variations of a one bar corner combo with Ryu in Street Fighter V. Keep in mind this is in the beta, so things might change slightly once the game finally comes out, but at least this will give you a good way to get started. Alright, so let's get into it. So first things first, you'll notice that I have, I pause and then I go to key display and attack data and make sure that this is on. Also, we're going to make sure to go down and set stun to no stun, that way we're not wasting any time. If we screw up a few times and the dummy gets stunned. And also we want to change recovery to normal recovery to save as much time as possible. Okay, so first things first, let me show you guys the two variations and then we'll talk about when each one would be used. Okay, so the first one is this. Okay, let's take a look at that for a second. So that did 394 damage and 625 stun for the cost of 1 bar, and it was 7 hits. Not bad, right? Now let's look at the other variation. Okay, this did 368 damage and 530 stun. Whoops, 530 stun, and still did 7 hits. So let's look at these and then think about when we would use each of these. So first off, right, the jump in combo would be used if you got a dizzy in the corner, if you stun the opponent. And the one that started with the solar plexus would be useful as a punish. Let's say if you got them to whiff a throw, or maybe you blocked an uppercut that they did on wake up. That would be the situations that were appropriate. Okay, so now let's do this. So the first thing that we have to look at is the similarities. So the main similarities are that you're going from crouching medium punch to light Tatsu, and then juggling with EX. Those, that's like the ender. And then, okay, so we want to make sure that we have that down first. So watch my hands carefully. And so I'm holding down forward on the stick so that it's easier for me to roll to down back. So I'm holding down back on the stick, and then I'm going to press medium punch and then immediately cancel into light kick Tatsu. So when we're learning a new combo, we want to make sure to program our muscle memory effectively. I find that if you can do each segment of the combo 5 times in a row, it's probably good enough for competency, and then we would switch to the other side. I'm not going to do the whole thing on both sides, but you get the idea. Okay, so once we're able to hit this pretty consistently, then the next step is to link it into our EX uppercut. And what you'll notice is that I'm starting the motion for the uppercut when the animation for the Tatsu is still finishing. So if you're having trouble, then just break it down even further and practice only this juggle by itself. If you're still having trouble, that means that you need to break it down even further and just practice doing EX uppercut over and over and over until you can do it consistently at least 5 times in a row. So, I guess really the last segment is the most important to practice, right? You have to make sure that you can hit your EX uppercuts every time. So we can just work backwards from there. So, this is like the last segment of the combo that's shared by both. So once you're able to do this 5 times in a row, 1, 2, 3, holding from down forward, 4, 5, then you would practice the just light Tatsu into uppercut. If at any point you have any difficulty, just remember to break it down into a smaller segment. Okay, so now let's look at the beginning of the first combo, which is the jump-in combo after the dizzy. Okay, so here's where it is going to get a little bit tricky. So back heavy kick is his axe kick. This used to be similar to his axe kick in Street Fighter 4, but now it's a command normal. This command normal is interesting because it hits twice and it does really good damage and really good stun. Compare it to his regular standing heavy kick, and it does well, actually, we learn something new every day. All right, so this does less damage than this, and this one does more stun as well. So why do we even use this move at all? Well, the reason why we use it is because it links into crouching medium punch. See? Notice how, and you'll notice that I cannot link my regular standing heavy kick into crouching medium punch. So this is like, I don't know. I don't know if that sounds like a small minor detail to you, but it's pretty important because it allows us to do combos that wouldn't be possible otherwise. So you'll notice that when I'm hitting the buttons, I'm actually double tapping, and when I'm double tapping, that means that I'm kind of scraping my middle and index finger over the buttons that I'm trying to link. So even though it doesn't require like too much timing, if you can double your chances of hitting the button at the right time, then that's something that you should do, because the more that you can do to ensure that things don't go wrong, the better you will do in an actual match, because you'll be used to I don't know, ensuring whatever you can do in order to not screw up at a critical moment. Okay, so basically, once you can do this about 5 times in a row, consistently, I mean, you know, I'm just talking to you guys as I'm doing this. It's not that hard. Then, we can say, okay, well, how do we land that in the first place? And the way that we land that is off of a jumping heavy kick. So jumping heavy kick does 90 damage and 150 stun. Jumping heavy punch does the same. So it really doesn't matter which button you use. However, I guess if you were in V trigger, then it would be better to use jumping heavy punch because it does a little bit of extra stun. But for the sake of this example, we'll just do it that way. Okay, so we've practiced this over and over. Back medium kick into crouching medium punch. Now, let's see if we can land that off of a jump in. So, notice how late I can hit the button and it still makes contact. But if I do it if I hit the button too late, it'll just whiff because the move didn't have enough time to come out. So what you want to do is you want to aim for the spot on the opponent's body that's kind of between their waistline and their shoulders. This is what's referred to as a deep jump in. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe this game is different. Like, it used to require a little bit more precision in older Street Fighter games, but this Street Fighter game seems pretty lenient about when you can actually jump in. But what you do want to do is you want to hit the same place every time. So I'm going for his shoulders. The other thing to consider is that if you jumped from further away, you may not be able to link it as easily. Oh, that still worked. But see, notice I'm like really far away. And now this doesn't connect at all, even though I got the deep jump in. So you want to use the training mode boxes at the bottom of the screen to kind of gauge where you should start the jump. So I can start it anywhere from one training mode box, like maybe like a half training mode box. Nope, too close. Okay. I can start anywhere from 3/4 of a training mode box away. Nope, never mind. I can start it from anywhere between I have to be one training mode box away. And when I say training mode box, I'm referring to the boxes on the bottom of the screen. Maybe I could even be a box and a half. Yeah, okay, so I could be anywhere between a box and a half and 1 box away. But if I'm all the way back here, let's say 2 boxes away, it doesn't even combo and I don't get 2 hits. So these are the nuances that you have to pay attention to when you're new and you're learning how to play Street Fighter. So let's try to put it together. We're gonna jump in with the heavy kick, and then we're gonna hit a back and heavy kick as soon as we land. And you'll notice that I'm still double tapping the back medium kick to ensure that my timing is to just make up for my questionable timing, because I don't know, there's so much in the heat of battle, there's so much that can go wrong. So you want to just build a habit of playing it as safe as possible and building the habit of double tapping, even though at first it might feel weird. Okay. So once you're able to hit these 2 hits, or excuse me, these 3 hits, which is actually just 2, then it should be pretty easy to just double tap your crouching medium punch. And remember that we want to roll the stick from back to down forward. Well, actually, we're not rolling it. We're just going straight from back to down forward in between the back medium kick and the crouching medium punch. The reason why we're doing this is so that it's easier. Well, I find it easier. You guys might not, but for me, it's easier to do the light tatsu from holding down forward because it just feels more natural. So I start from neutral. I'm a box and a half away. As soon as I jump forward, I'm holding back. Okay, so you would practice this until you could do it like 5 times in a row. And then finally, you can end it with the EX uppercut. Now we're getting somewhere. Whoops, wrong one. Haha, I screwed up. Okay, so that's variation number 1. Variation number 2, if you've seen one of the other video about the target combo, variation number 2 would be good after a blocked uppercut. So if you didn't get the dizzy, if you got the dizzy, you would jump in and do the previous combo. If you were punishing a whiff throw or a blocked uppercut, you would do this combo. So we can do it, we can build the muscle memory in the same way. Because we already did, this part is the same. Crouching medium kick into light tatsu into EX uppercut. It's the same as it was in the other combo. The only difference is now we're going to start it with solar plexus into standing medium punch. So you just practice this over and over and over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, the next part is to time the standing medium punch, this first standing medium punch, into the second crouching medium punch. So you'll notice that you want to keep the stick in neutral, because if you're holding forward, you're going to get the overhead. We don't want the overhead. We just want neutral standing medium punch, and then immediately point the stick from neutral to down forward and press medium punch at the same time. I hope you can see how that's working right here. So basically, you just practice this a bunch of times. See, it's not that hard. Three, 4, 5. Oh, 1. I keep screwing it up. This is why we practice it. Maybe I gotta go back to just this. Or maybe I gotta go back to double tapping. There we go. There we go. So double tapping might not feel natural for you at first, but hey, for me, it's pretty natural now. Okay, so now we're gonna put it all together. We're gonna start with the solar plexus. Whoops, what am I doing? I started thinking about something else. And now, what's that? 3, 4, 5. Now we can even switch between the original combo off of the Dizzy and our Solar Plexus combo, which would be a punish. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Alright guys, so I hope you found this useful. Maybe it was a little bit longer than it needed to be, but for those of you guys that are slow learners out there like me, hey, these things take time. What can I say? Alright, so thanks for watching. If you like what you see here, please subscribe here on YouTube to get notified when we get new videos. Also, please follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Gootecks. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.